If you don't control your mind, someone else will. Every war begins in the mind, and the greatest battle, it's not against the world, it's against yourself. If your thoughts are chaotic, your life will follow. But if your mind is strong, nothing outside of you can shake you. Most people live on autopilot. They're ruled by anxiety, fear, cravings, and impulse. But the Stoic, he steps back. He watches. He disciplines his inner world with the same intensity a warrior trains his body. Your thoughts are not random. They're habits. You feed them or you starve them. And if you don't choose what to focus on, the world will choose for you. That's how people become prisoners of distraction and noise. But you're not here to be ruled. You're here to master yourself, guard your mind, question every thought, ask, is this useful? Is this true? Does this make me stronger? You don't need to control the world, just your response to it. And that begins in your mind. So discipline your thoughts, sharpen your soul. Discipline is not a prison, it is the path to true freedom. Epictetus taught that the key to autonomy is mastering your impulses. The modern world bombards us with distractions, endless clicks, dopamine hits, and instant gratification. But a Stoic understands every choice is a chance to forge character. You want freedom? Then learn to say no. No to comfort. No to the easy path. No to anything that steals your focus or weakens your will. Discipline is a blade, shaped in discomfort and sharpened through repetition. The more you train your self-control, the stronger you become. And over time, that strength becomes inner freedom, the kind no one can take from you. No matter the chaos outside, the disciplined remain grounded. They act with intention, not emotion. The world admires strength, but only the disciplined find lasting peace. To master yourself is to master your destiny. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. Epictetus lived most of his life with a crippled leg, a reminder of the cruelty he endured as a slave. But he never allowed suffering to define him. Instead, he used it. Every hardship became fuel for growth. Every wound, a lesson. Every moment of agony, a chance to rise above. Pain exposes who you really are. When comfort fades, masks fall. In struggle, the true self is revealed. You don't grow when life is easy. You grow when you're tested. When you choose discipline over desire, clarity over emotion, and action over excuses. Stoicism teaches that pain is not to be feared, but embraced. It forges resilience. It strips away illusion. It purifies the soul. Ask yourself, are you willing to suffer for your own greatness? Will you choose the discomfort that transforms you, or the comfort that weakens you? This moment, this pain is your fire. Let it mold you, let it sharpen you, because if you endure with purpose, you will emerge unbreakable. If this message lit something inside you, comment, I am forged by pain. You think freedom is doing whatever you want, whenever you want. That's not freedom, that's slavery to impulse. True freedom begins with self-control. Epictetus taught that no man is free unless he masters himself. If your emotions dictate your actions, if your desires run your life, if you chase comfort and flee discomfort, you're not in control. You're a prisoner, not to chains, but to your own mind. Discipline is the quiet power that builds greatness. It's the voice that says no when temptation whispers, just this once. It's waking up early to train when the bed calls you back. It's doing what must be done, even when no one is watching. Freedom isn't about escaping rules. It's about creating your own standards and living by them, no matter what. Pain will test your discipline. Discomfort will challenge it. But every time you choose discipline over indulgence, you take back control, not of the world, but of yourself. And that is the most powerful kind of freedom there is. If you're ready to live with intention and discipline, life will throw storms at you. Loss, betrayal, failure, illness. You can't control what happens, but you can always control how you respond. This was Epictetus's core teaching. Some things are within our control, others are not. Trying to control what isn't yours, other people's actions, external events, outcomes, leads only to frustration and suffering. But when you focus solely on your own mind, choices and character, you become unshakable. Imagine a ship in a storm. The winds howl, the waves crash, but the captain focuses only on the rudder. He doesn't curse the sea. He doesn't panic. He commands what is his and lets the sea rage. That's the Stoic way. You don't control how people treat you. You control whether you stay calm or lash out. You don't control the economy. You control whether you spend wisely or complain. You don't control outcomes. You control your effort and your integrity. Peace doesn't come from fixing the world. It comes from fixing your perspective. You'll find real power not by gripping tighter, but by letting go. You think freedom is doing whatever you want whenever you want. That's not freedom. That's slavery to impulses, to emotions, to weakness. True freedom, Epictetus taught, comes from discipline. A person ruled by pleasure is a slave to it. A person who can't wake up without hitting snooze, who chases comfort, who avoids pain, is not free. They are imprisoned by their desires. But the one who can say no, the one who can endure hardship, delay gratification, and act with reason, that person is unbreakable. Discipline doesn't mean being hard for no reason. It means training your body and mind to serve your highest purpose. It's freedom from chaos, freedom from addiction, freedom from fear. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The disciplined man doesn't wait for motivation. He acts. He doesn't whine. He works. He doesn't seek escape. He confronts reality. This is the paradox. The more you master your impulses, the more powerful you become. Look at the great warriors, leaders, thinkers. What do they all have in common? Discipline. And that discipline gave them freedom. You are not your thoughts. Let that sink in. Your mind will lie to you. It will whisper fears, doubts, temptations, regrets. But you are not those whispers. You are the one who hears them and chooses whether to believe them. Epictetus taught that our thoughts are like wild horses. If we let them run unchecked, they'll trample our peace. But if we learn to observe them, challenge them, and guide them, we become masters of our mind. How many times have you been dragged into sadness, anger, or fear by a thought that wasn't even true? A memory, a prediction, an insecurity. These are just mental impressions, not reality. The Stoics trained themselves to pause, to ask, is this thought helping me? Is it rational? Is it within my control? By doing this, they built an inner fortress no thought could penetrate. You don't have to believe everything you think. You don't have to react to every mental itch. You don't have to live in a storm of mental chaos. You can observe, breathe, and choose your response. That's real strength. Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want. But that's not freedom. That's slavery to impulse. Real freedom comes through discipline. Epictetus understood this deeply. Born a slave, he knew what it meant to be physically imprisoned, but he discovered something powerful. No one could imprison his mind unless he let them. Discipline gave him control, not just over his actions, but over his emotions, his desires, and his reactions. And that's the secret the modern world has forgotten. When you discipline your mind, your habits, your time, you break free from the chains of addiction, distraction, laziness, and regret. Think about it. Waking up early, freedom from chaos, training your body, freedom from weakness, mastering emotions, freedom from being manipulated, saying no, freedom from people-pleasing, living with purpose, freedom from drifting. Every time you say no to a short-term pleasure, you say yes to long-term strength. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." So the next time you're tempted to give in, remember, that moment is your test. Your chance to choose mastery over mediocrity. What happens to you doesn't define you. How you respond, that's what makes you who you are. Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And in those few words, he revealed one of the deepest truths of Stoicism. Your power lies in your response. You can't control people. You can't stop bad luck, betrayal, failure, or pain. But you can control your reaction, your emotions, your mindset, your next move. Someone disrespects you. You stay calm, you lose a job, you stay focused, you're in pain, you stay grounded. That's power, not reacting emotionally, but responding intentionally. It's like a storm. You can't stop the thunder, but you can choose to stand firm. This doesn't mean you suppress everything. It means you pause, observe, reflect, and then act, guided by reason, not rage. Most people are slaves to their emotions, but Epictetus chose to be the master of his soul, even in chains. That's your challenge today. The next time life punches you in the face, pause, breathe, choose your response. That's how warriors are made. You're done being controlled by your emotions. Type, I choose how I respond. This is the final truth. You are not broken. You are being built. Everything you've suffered, every scar, every loss, was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to forge you. Epictetus said, difficulties are things that show a person what they are. You don't truly know your strength until life tests you. You don't know your resilience until everything falls apart and you keep going anyway. Pain isn't the enemy. Pain is the teacher. It sharpens you, it strips away your illusions, it humbles you, and in that fire what remains is real, unshakable character. Look back at everything you've overcome. You're still standing. That alone proves one thing. You are not a victim. You are forged. The Stoics didn't run from hardship. They faced it. They embraced it. Because every trial was a step toward greatness, toward freedom of the soul. This is the way of the Stoic. Not to be fearless, but to act in spite of fear. Not to avoid pain, but to grow through it. So now the choice is yours. Let pain break you, or let it make you unstoppable. Comment, I am forged by pain, if you're ready to own your journey. And subscribe, because this isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new you.